Hello, and welcome to Surfacing TV, a new show with a new concept.
That's right.
We have DJ KJ and the
yo.
beautiful Patricia Gordon.
Gordon,
you
y'all.
like it is.
Like
and
it
let's
is.
not forget the charismatic style of Genoa Ricardo. And our street host,
The Bremer.
Yeah. From the underground, we're surfacing. From the underground, we're surfacing. Surfacing TV. We got more to bring, we dance and sing. We're working with the best, we'll never rest. Put us on, and we will pass any test. Don't you want to know? Here we go. Busting through, coming from the underground. Telling you like it is. Telling you like it is. Surfacing TV. Hello, and Hello, I'm Peter DC, guest host here at Surfacing TV, telling you like it is. And one of the things that Surfacing TV wants to address is the fact that there's a lot of teenagers who are led into criminal activities, mischievousness, and things that end up harming them instead of doing them any good. And instead of we adults preaching on the subject, because a lot of teenagers, a lot of kids think that we weren't kids at one time, and they will ignore, they'll say, well, dad don't know what he's talking about, mom don't know what she's talking about. So instead, we're going to actually have one of your peers, a young man, my guest and host today, Kenny C. Jones, on the show, and we're just going to talk about some things, and he's going to give us some answers from a teenager's point of view. Welcome to the show, man. How you doing?
Good.
All right. Kenny, first of all, again, thank you for coming down. One of the things that is going on is drugs, sex, you know, a lot of these things that can lead into young men and women going to jail or dying. And a lot of these things we already know starts off in high school. Now I know that you're in high school, is that correct?
Yes.
Okay. I want you to answer these questions honestly. Don't be intimidated. We just want to let other teenagers who's watching the show realize that they're not the only ones that's going through the pressures of teenagers, young adults, and you know the peer pressure that goes on. Okay? Okay. First of all, do you have a girlfriend?
No, not at the moment.
Not at the moment. Okay. I know your father, and he tells me that you have quite a few people making telephone calls of the opposite sex, and so we know that you're favored, so to speak. And one of the things that I'd like to ask you and address is, does your friends, your male friends, basically they talk about girls? You'll talk about girls, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Sometimes you talk about what girls do with who they do it. Am I right?
Sometimes. Yeah.
Okay. Well, the reason why I'm going to ask you this is, first of all, to gear you away from that particular type of hearsay, okay, or gossip, all right, because we have to respect one another. You want people to respect you, and basically you have to throw that same respect back out there. And a lot of young ladies are not getting the respect that they deserve. I know that it's a fad, it's the end thing. You know, a lot of women are referred to as biatch, stuff like that. And it might be cool in your world, but it's not cool, because in the end it's a negative thing and it's really putting down. And sometimes guys, they like to talk about what girls do, and in essence you can hurt and harm a girl's reputation regardless if she's doing the thing or not. And you being a young man who's favored with the ladies, tell us what you guys talk about when y'all are talking about girls.
Well, we don't talk much, but we do most of the time, such as like if she's like going too forward and saying like let's go to the movies, trying to push you into things like that, and like more stuff like calling you up like late at night and stuff like that.
Okay, alright. So basically you're in the innocent stage. You haven't gotten to the nitty gritty yet.
No.
Okay, well, I'm not saying you can't get into the nitty gritty, but privacy is a respect. And if you kiss, you don't have to kiss and tell, because sometimes, even amongst adults, you've heard the word player hating. You've heard that, and player hating goes on from your child into adulthood. And sometimes when you have a girlfriend, and maybe you treat them a certain way, you got in certain places with that girl, if you go ahead and tell your friends,
instead of being your friend, they start being jealous of you because maybe they didn't get that far with their girlfriend, or maybe they want your girlfriend and they're just jealous of the fact that you have that girl. So I want you to be careful and think about what you're going to say and who you're saying it to, and just to realize that a lot of things that you do and a lot of things that you and your friends do is you and your friends' business alone, and you don't have to tell that to nobody else. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Okay. Drugs. Is drugs in your school that you're aware of?
Yes.
Okay. Has any of your student colleagues come approach you, try to get you to try something that you shouldn't be trying?
No.
Okay. Do you have a friend or know of anyone who have been approached by drugs and maybe even taken it?
Yes, I know a few people.
Was the effect, or what did you see? Was it, to your eyes and to your understanding, was it a positive, a good thing, or a bad thing?
I don't really know because like I've seen her do it multiple times before, but I haven't seen her do it at school or anything like that. But off school property, off school grounds.
Okay, and this same person that you're referring to, is she talked about?
No.
So nobody knows that she's doing it except for one or two persons such as yourself?
Yeah.
Okay. You know that sooner or later, as you elevate in school and you get closer to graduation, you are going to be approached by drugs. Someone is going to put a stick of reefer in your face and say, hey, try this. You know that, right?
Yeah.
And of course, we already know that you're going to say no. Okay. Does music have a great, or music videos and your favorite artists, do they have a heavy influence on you?
In some way.
Explain.
Like I like music and I like to rap and stuff like that, and they influence me to proceed in what I'm trying to do and try to succeed in my future.
And what is it that you're trying to do, Kenny?
Trying to rap.
Okay, all right. When you write your lyrics, because I assume you do write some lyrics,
Yeah.
do you write it from a positive point of view, or do you write it like how most rappers write, which is more on the gangster mentality?
A little bit of both.
Okay, all right. Well, you know that if you become a successful artist in the music world, that many people will be looking up to you younger than you, and how you dress, what you say, what you do, if you're in a particular music video and you are portraying yourself to be a certain way, that they're going to follow that because in their eyes you're cool. You know that, right?
Yes.
Be careful of the subliminal messages that you send out, because you may do something or you may rap about something that you don't live, or you may do something in a music video that you've never done in reality, but the people who's watching it, they think that that's you. So if you shooting somebody in a music video, they may think you shooting somebody in real life, because some people's minds are simple and all they can see is what's in front of them, and they don't look at things from a broad, optic. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Okay. I don't want to be too long with this interview, but one of the other issues that I wanted to ask you is your friends. Do you know your friends?
Yeah.
Okay, what I mean by that is you have some guys who have friends, but they don't really know their friends. They know that they can, like for me, at my age right now, I can count my friends on my hands. I don't have that many friends, but the friends that I do have, I know without a doubt that if I invite them into my house, or if I'm going to put them in my car and give them a ride someplace, police is not going to stop me because they have drugs on them that I didn't know about. Do you understand? I know that they're coming over to my house, and no police is going to follow them because they think that they may be suspects of drug trafficking and bringing it into my property. That's what I mean by do you know your friends. I have no doubt that my friends are clean in that aspect, so they're not going to bring certain drama to me because I'm innocent and because I don't know what they're doing on the outside. So that's what I mean by do you know your friends. You do know your friends.
Yes.
Okay. The other thing is your parents happen to be very good friends of mine and actually family to me. Okay, and I know their characteristics, and sometimes they may chastise you, and they try to push you in the direction that they feel is the best direction for you. That way you could be the best that you could be in this life. Because the world out there is not kind. It's a mean and wicked world out there. Okay? But what I wanted to ask you is, do you consider your parents friends?
Yes.
To the point where you share certain things with them? You can talk to them about anything?
Yes.
Oh, that's very important. The reason why I ask that question, ladies and gentlemen, is because a lot of us do not ask questions. A lot of us do not ask questions. A lot of us don't know what our kids are into. And most kids are afraid of what they're afraid to approach their parents because they don't know how to talk to their parents. So what happens later on in life is kids get into things and their friends become their parents because they can't talk to their own parents, and they get misled. And once they get misled, they're not your kids anymore. They're their friends' kids and the parents' kids and the streets' kids. And no matter how much you love and no matter how much you want to try to put them in the right direction, because they weren't your friend in the first place, because they didn't know how to talk to you, you lost them. And once you lost them, sometimes you don't get them back. The police get them. The graveyard and the cemetery gets them. So what I'm trying basically to incite is the fact that you need to be friends with your kids. Kids need to be friends with their parents. They need to be able to be comfortable with each other to the point where they're in each other's lives and they can each, both educate and direct each other where everybody can be happy in the end. I'm going to close up this interview just about now. I want to thank you for coming down, Kenny, and I want you to come back again, that we could specifically, being that I'm just a guest host, I don't really know how to do this thing the way like DJ KJ or Patricia Gordon, or Genoway Ricardo. They're the real host of the show, and they know how to get to key things, where me, I'm just Peter DC, But I do want to thank you, and I want you to come back, that one of them can really interview you and get to the nitty-gritty, because you're a good kid, I know that, and I believe that you can share with kids your age and kids younger who's watching the program, and they may relate to you, and you may tell them something, or you may basically tell them something that you don't do that maybe they can actually fit into their life and their pattern and help them along the way. Okay? So, thank you for coming down, and we're going to talk, all right?
All right.
Okay. I'm Peter DC, I'm Peter Chisholm, a.k.a. Peter DC of Royal Records and Circus and TV, your guest host for the day. I want you all to stay blessed. Always remember to keep positive, and tell someone that you know and someone that you don't know, hey, how you doing? Have a great day. Take care, and I'll see you again. Bye-bye.